Okay folks, I'm going to tell you a wee buzzer pattern or a variation on a fly called the Chromie. Now this pattern comes from Canada, and I believe the original pattern was first tied by a gentleman called Phil Rowley. So I'm just going to show you my version of it if you like. So the hook in the vase is a size 10 standard heavyweight wet fly hook. The thread I'm going to use is Ultra Thread in 70 by UTC in black. So I'm simply just going to come in and get the thread started behind the eye of the hook. I'm just going to run it on around about a thorax length and remove the waste piece. Now the rib on the fly is a bright red UTC wire. I'll just show you it. So there. So all I'm going to do is just get this flattened out a bit. Offer it up to the hook. Just going to tie it on my side, and then I'm just going to run the thread down, tying in the wire. Now just keeping the wire on my side just until I'm in line with the barb of the hook. The body is a silver Mylar tinsel, and this is the silver and gold in size 12. So I'm just going to offer this up to the hook. What's the length of the body? And then I'm just going to run my thread up, tying in the tinsel. Now I want to try and keep the body as smooth as I can, so I'm just going to run it up, tying it in, and then I'm going to spin my thread anti-clockwise. And if you spin UTC thread anti-clockwise, it flattens out like a fine floss. Now I'm just going to come down halfway and back up, right the way back up the length of the body. Spin the thread again anti-clockwise, and then come back down a few mil to there, and then back up, just looking to create a small taper in the body. Now, just come around with your tinsel, nice tight turn at the back, and then just one turn slightly overlapping the other. Up your body to there, follow it across with your thread, a couple of nice tight turns in just to secure everything in. Then you can come in and trim away the excess. Now don't throw that out because we're going to use that as a thorax cover. Then we can come around with our wire and a couple of turns at the back of the red wire, and then just bring the wire up, ribbing the body. 4 or 5 turns plenty up to there, follow it across with your thread, one turn to hold, a couple of turns will secure that in. Now just going to bend and break away the wire. Just going to run my thread up to the eye and back down. Just going to look to build up the thorax at this part just before we tie in the other materials. So just to there. Now I'm going to tie in the thorax cover, and that's going to be the silver tinsel again, same stuff for the body, silver and gold Mylar. So I'm just going to pull it in, stretch it over the back, then just run my thread up, tying in the thorax cover, come back down to the eye, back up. Now for the wing buds, I'm going to use goose bats dyed red. So I'm just going to come in and take 2 of the goose bats off. Now I just want to take away the wee fine tips. So I'm just going to get them leveled up. Just take away the wee fine tips. I'm just going to put them on one at a time. So I'm just going to offer one onto my side of the hook, side of the thorax. Couple of turns to catch it in, and then just going to offer one on to your side. Right, with a turn, catch it in, bring it back around into position. Then I'm just going to hold them, and I'm just going to tie them in. Now, just going to run my thread back down to the eye and back up, just building the thorax up at this point. Now some people like their thoraxes really pronounced. Just going to throw in a half hitch just to hold my thread in position. So like I said, there are some people like their thorax is really pronounced, meaning large. Well, it's just up to you, the way you like to dress your flies. Now, just going to bring over the goose bats for the wing buds. Keep them on the sides. Round with the turn to hold. A couple of turns to secure everything in. Now keep your thread tight and come in, you can break these away. Still keep your thread tight. And bring over your silver tinsel for your thorax cover. A couple of nice tight turns now at this stage. Don't worry if it slips down, because we're going to fold it back. Hold the silver tinsel back over on itself. Just bringing the thread up now just to create the head on the fly. Don't be shy with the size of the head on a buzzer. Now, just keeping hold of the tinsel. Nice pair of sharp scissors. Come in and remove the excess. Another turn. And I'm going to come in with my whip finishing tool and throw in a couple of turn whip finish just to tidy everything up. Pull the thread nice and tight, and then I'm going to come in and trim away the thread. Now, just going to have a wee check on everything, make sure I'm happy enough with that. Now I'm just going to come in with some UV resin just on the thorax. Come in with my needle. I'm just going to spread this around the thorax. Just on the thorax, don't want it anywhere else at the minute. Just make sure your eye stays clean. Now I'm just going to keep that on the move to get my torch. Now I'm going to come in and set it. Just make sure all the UV resin's set. Then I'm going to come in with some UV resin onto the body. Now just a tiny drop. Not looking too much on the body, it's just to protect it. I know there's wire on there, but just to protect it, bring it right down onto the hook. UV resin, just spread it round. Just make the fly a wee bit more shinier. Then I'll come in and just set the resin. Now, the reason why the fly was tied with silver tinsel on the body is simply because the further the midge pupa swim up the water column, the more shinier they become, the closer to get to the surface. So that was the thought process behind it. Now I'm just going to come in and just some clear varnish, just one white, just up the fly, and then once that's dry I'll come in and put another 2 or 3 coats on. So that's the wee fly. Now you can tie them on the curved hooks if you like. The straight hooks are more for if you're pulling the flies. You'll get a better hook up if you on the straight hook, in my opinion, than you will on the curved hooks. So look, give the fly a wee go, tie up a half a dozen for your box, and hopefully they can catch you a few fish.